Consistency is probably the main course, but it takes a lot to get the main course to the table. You have to, if it's not sustainable, you're not going to do it consistently. It just is not possible. It's not possible. Doing it consistently without improvement, it's better than not doing it at all, but it might not garner the results you want, unfortunately.
And for me, I have to do the opposite, which is, okay, Alan, that speech sucked. You suck, kinda. Do better, because we talk about the record playing in the back of our head. So self-concept is very, very, very important. And a positive self-concept comes with a lack of humility, typically. And a negative self-concept comes with a lack of self-belief, typically.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. Today, for episode number 1834, I got a message from someone that I messaged 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And they said, hey, my bad for not getting back to this. I sent them an audio message. And I tried to pronounce their name, and I said, I really hope I pronounced your name correctly. And they said, you actually pronounced my name correctly. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry it took me so long to get back. And I was like, I don't remember even sending this message. What was the deal with this? It was you and I gave a speech to a group of people that we know the leaders of the group, the founders of the group, the creators of the group,
yeah.
Whatever.
That was 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Feels way longer than that, doesn't it?
Yes. The speech we gave was the top next level lessons from 1,000 episodes. So I screenshotted it and sent it to Alan. And I said, wow, how much things have changed. And we have a list of 10. We're each going to choose one that we want to revisit and go deeper on and see. If you want the list of 10, reach out. We can always throw it in a WhatsApp group or something. I don't know how valuable it would be to have. I think they're all very good, but obviously,
it's a digital asset, the top 10 next level lessons from 1,000 episodes.
I said that. Hey, I said that.
I know. We will send it to you. DM Kevin or myself, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Send us a DM, preferably Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, don't
because
message
honestly,
me on,
LinkedIn DMs
yeah, don't message me on LinkedIn.
A nightmare.
If you want me to get back to you, please don't message me on LinkedIn, because all I get is, hey, Kev, I see that you're a podcaster in the podcast space. I would love to collaborate and sell you something that you probably don't need or just don't want. What are your thoughts on connecting together?
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
I know I've never met you before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd love to be a guest on your
Instagram-
podcast, even though you don't have, and I've listened to so many episodes, so I know I'd be a good fit. Well, you haven't listened to an episode in the last 3 years, because we haven't had a guest on in the last 3 years. So you got to come to the new stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny. If you are listening or watching this on YouTube, please DM us, Instagram or Facebook, preferably.
Yes.
And if you only use LinkedIn, you can DM us and we'll get back to you as soon as possible,
Eventually.
which will be probably longer than, it'll be shorter than 2 years, that I can promise you.
I can't, but I will do my best. No,
You can almost also email us, Alan at nextleveluniverse.com, Kevin at nextleveluniverse.com, spelled just like it sounds. Okay, so we will send that asset to you. If you DM us, please do. Kev, what's your favorite one, man?
My favorite
I love
one.
This.
My favorite one is it's number 10. Number 10 is my favorite. Okay, number 10 is my favorite. The reason we're laughing is because that's a hack people use to get you to listen to all their stuff. They say number 5 is my favorite. Today I'm going to teach you the top 5 ways to make $1 million. Make sure you stick around, because number 5 is the most valuable and it ties everything together. If you don't have number 5, you can't even do the first 4. That's why I made it number 5.
And then number 5 ends up being them selling you something.
Yeah. My mentorship. Number 10. There's usually 2 choices, the easy one and the right one. I believe that is just more true now than it has ever been. And what I think of now is I think of the want, love, hate framework that you have been talking about so often. Because if you want something and you love doing something, there most likely will be something that you just don't want to do that you have to do to get the other 2. And that's the hard choice. But that's the right choice. The easy choice is just to say, well, I want blank, but I don't know. If it's supposed to be, it'll be. It'll come eventually. That's the easy choice. That's the easy choice. So if that's going to happen, it's going to happen. The hard choice is saying, you know what? I really want blank, but I know it's going to kind of suck to get it. And these are the things I don't necessarily want to do, but I know I should. I think that's a really appropriate example. And then, I don't know if I have any
Can you
other
give me an example of something you did recently that you didn't want to do that you chose the right choice instead of the easy one?
I was supposed to be on a podcast yesterday, and for some reason my camera and my mic weren't working. It was a whole thing. And I had emailed the person, because I would try to get in the room a couple minutes early, and I emailed the person and said, hey, I'm having issues. Just give me a couple minutes. I'll figure it out. I always do. An anomaly. It's going to be fine. And they didn't email me back. But then I got a text from the host a couple minutes later. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried. And there was a piece of me that said, they'll just email me back, and then I can explain it. It would be easy. It would be easy for me just to wait for them to email me back. But I called them because they had texted me. I just called them, and I said, hey, my bad. It is absolute mayhem over here. My apologies for wasting your time. I don't know what's going on. I cannot get it to work. If it's aligned, I'd love to reschedule. If not, I understand because This is kind of mayhem. And it was a really good conversation and awesome. We got rescheduled. Cool. But it would have been a lot easier for me just to say, they'll email me back. No worries. They'll email me back when they're ready. So I went with the hard thing.
I think that takes so much humility to do the thing. I've been saying this a lot to my clients. I said, with the want, love, hate framework, want more clients, love coaching, hate falling down the rabbit hole of social media. Well, if you're not willing to be on social media, you don't get more of what you want and what you love. And you can do this with everything. Want to be in great shape, love weight training, hate dieting. That's a perfect example I think a lot of people will resonate with. Some people don't mind dieting. I have a client who has no problem dieting, wants to be in shape, loves eating very little, hates weight training. So usually there's a want, love, hate framework. I say this to my clients. The reason you aren't getting more of what you want and love and aren't achieving your goals and dreams at the rate that you'd like is because you've told yourself a story that you shouldn't have to do the thing that you know deep down you need to do. And I'm no different. That's the same deal with me too. And that's the thing is we want to believe we can live a life where we don't have to do things we hate, but it's just not real. It's absolutely untrue. Yeah, it's untrue. Having a six-pack is great. Not eating ice cream is terrible.
It's not ideal. Huge fan of ice cream, especially
which is why you have protein
time.
ice cream.
That's why I make protein ice cream, yes.
What's one example? Oh, you already gave me it. Okay.
The kid's on autopilot.
Next lesson.
The kid's just on autopilot.
I think it's good to do the hard thing. I think it's important.
What is your lesson, you son of a bee?
My favorite one on this top 10 list is number 3. Stick around for that one.
We'll be right back after the break.
We'll be right back after these messages. Number 3, your self-concept, true or made up, dictates almost all of how your life turns out. Self-concept, identity, what you think and believe about yourself. If you believe you are shy, you are going to act shy, and then you're going to get shy results, which is then going to reinforce your belief that you're shy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. How do I even begin with this one? What is your self-concept? Your self-concept is what you think about yourself and feel about yourself when you're not thinking and feeling about yourself consciously. Your self-concept is unconscious. That's why I always ask everyone if they've seen Inside Out 2, because I think they did the best job I've ever seen of showing the power of self-concept. And so I'm not going to give away the movie. I'm going to give away one tiny scene of the movie. Spoiler alert. In Inside Out 2, there's a scene where the young girl, Riley, has this sort of identity built of all the core memories up to this stage of her life. And I think she went to high school. I think it was high school. You've seen the movie. Yeah?
Not Inside Out 2? No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
she's
in high
ready to
school.
take my headphones off.
She's in high school. And her core memories and emotions have constructed her self-concept, her identity, and it's in the form of a tree inside of her head in this movie. And it's got cool lights, Kev. You'll like it. as she's playing a hockey game, because she grew up in Minnesota and she loves hockey, she has the core limiting belief of the self-concept, the identity of I'm not good enough. And we've talked in depth on this show about that. And Kev, you talked about that yesterday. How you
That's
feel.
the second one? Doesn't that happen in the first one too?
No. Negative.
She plays hockey in the first one.
Yeah, of course she does.
And then
she doesn't have
then she
the
plays
identity
badly.
tree. She doesn't yes. No.
In the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
Are you sure?
I think so. I think I would know.
Do
when I say that,
remember okay, so one more piece of it, little here, spoiler alert. She's trying to score 3 goals. If I don't score 3 goals, remember anxiety? The emotion of anxiety?
No. It was different in the first one, I think.
Okay. I'm going to need you to lock it up since you haven't seen the movie.
Well, you thought I had seen the movie.
Yeah, it's my bad.
So you were setting me up.
Self-concept
Yes, please.
is, are you good enough? Are you smart enough? Self-concept is what you think about yourself. Do you think you're intelligent? Do you think you're athletic? Do you think you're handsome? Do you think you're beautiful? Do you think you're magnificent? Do you think you're lazy? Do you think you're hardworking? Everything. Good, bad, ugly.
Next Level Nation, what is happening? If you've thought to yourself, I want to try coaching, but you don't really know where to start, group coaching would be a wonderful place for you. That's really why we created it in the first place. We start a new round every 90 days. So if you're hearing this, go to the website, nextleveluniverse.com, and we have the landing page where you can actually hold your spot right now. Even if there's a group going on right now, you can still lock your spot for the next one. The biggest thing that we've seen is as we get closer and closer to the date, unfortunately, some people end up missing. The group fills up and they can't do it, and then they end up regretting that. So please head over to the website. The link will be in the show notes, and we would love to see you there.
What do you think about yourself when you're not thinking about yourself? And here's the problem, last piece. It's unconscious. You have the conscious mind, you have the subconscious mind, and you have the unconscious mind. And neuroscience has proven, I'm going to get my PhD one day in neuroscience. It has proven that subconscious and unconscious 40,000 times more powerful than your conscious. You can't spend your whole life fighting against your more powerful brains. And so when Kevin does something and it goes horribly wrong, if his limiting belief is I'm not good enough, he has to consciously override that and say, okay, that speech sucked, but I don't suck.
No.
And for me, I have to do the opposite, which is, okay, Alan, that speech sucked. You suck, kinda. Do better. Because we talk about the record playing in the back of our head. So self-concept is very, very, very important. And a positive self-concept comes with a lack of humility, typically. And a negative self-concept comes with a lack of self-belief, typically.
We used to say this, what you think you are is more important than what you actually are. And I think that's why people talk about fake it till you make it.
Long term, yeah.
Right. But
because what you think you are is determining what you do. And don't do.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you think you're not good and you're actually good, you don't get any results. That's the wonky thing.
Yeah.
And that's really, really hard to break that.
We're reading a book called Identity Shift in book club, and he uses the metaphor of the computer. The computer has hardware and operating system and software. And I draw the conclusion, and he does too in the book, but I think I created an asset for book club today that talks about how your genetics is your hardware, your identity, your self-concept, your mindset is your operating system. So if you have a Mac, you have OS, whatever, 15, OS 15. And if you have a PC, you have Windows, most likely, Windows 10 or 11. And then you have software like Audacity or WhatsApp or Google Chrome or Notepad, whatever, Paint. That's your skills.
Paint.
And so if you have the right hardware, you're physically capable, you have good genetics, intelligence, whatever, and you have the right operating system, the right mindset, the right identity, the right self-concept, and you have the right skills, you can achieve your goals and dreams. But if you don't have those things in alignment, you are kind of screwed a little bit, honestly. Yeah, I mean, the old Kevin had such a poor self-concept, dude. It's so wild to see how much different your self-concept is now.
It still bubbles up from time to time.
I wish you could talk to old Kev so badly.
I wouldn't like him.
If you coached him,
He wouldn't like me.
but if you coached him, you could get him to see what's possible.
Maybe that'll be one of the plot lines in Inside Out 3. You know? I've been waiting to break into Hollywood. And I know it's an animated picture, but I could probably do some voice acting. I've gotten some compliments on my voice. I could probably put something together. Maybe I'll put together a little reel. We know people in the voice acting community. Maybe that's it. Kevin in Inside Out 3. I wanted to throw another one out quickly. Not because I agree with it 1,000%, as I still do, but you'll see why. It's number one. This is the number one. And it's the number one. It's number one. And it says the number one biggest bottleneck to everyone's long-term success is consistency. I still agree, obviously. But at that point, we hadn't talked about sustainability, consistency, improvement, and what is it? Scalability?
Adaptability and grit. So belief.
Yeah, but don't we have a 3 for oh, that's for consistency, right?
Yeah, there's
That's
a
the
consistency
5.
star.
Yeah,
5
I wasn't.
Star.
I'm not privy to that information. Sometimes frameworks just pop up without my knowledge, and then I'm learning them with everybody else at the same time. So that's what's happening there. But before that, so at that point it was that. Then it was sustainability, consistency, improvement, and then since then it's evolved further.
What do you need? What's your takeaway?
Yeah, consistency is probably the main course, but it takes a lot to get the main course to the table. You have to, if it's not sustainable, you're not going to do it consistently. It just is not possible. It's not possible. Doing it consistently without improvement, it's better than not doing it at all, but it might not garner the results you want, unfortunately. The thing that's jumped off the page for me is I've been going through and talking to people who I've been on their podcasts. And when I'm going through the list, because we have a list of all the shows that I've been on, shout out to Laura for handling all that and keeping a list. This is not my doing. I am the worst at organization. I'm improving, but I'm using Laura's amazing organization to help me. I'm going through and looking at all the shows I've been on, and when I go to find them, they're not doing their show anymore. It makes me sad. It makes me sad because the same thing would have happened if we stopped. We would have said, yeah, we couldn't figure it out. Yeah, we did 7 episodes and nothing really happened, so we just kind of moved on to something else. Podcasting wasn't for us. No, it's the mindset. It's not the thing. It's not the modality. It's the mindset. You could say that about a YouTube channel. You could say that about a business. You could say that about a lemonade stand. Yeah, we were out there for 7 hours and nobody showed up. Go to a different corner. Maybe they don't want lemonade. Maybe they want something else. Maybe they want pink lemonade. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe your sign's not big enough. Maybe it's the wrong part of town, whatever, right? So, yeah, the mindset of it is something.
I have one last.
Please.
I'm going to wrap this whole. We talked about 3 lessons here. Ready?
Yeah.
If you want to succeed in life, I'm going to wrap all 3 of these lessons up. I'm going to see if I can do it. You need to, number 1, upgrade your self-concept. Which means get outside your comfort zone. And consistently do the right thing, not the easy thing.
Ooh.
That's all
Nice.
3 wrapped in a bow right there.
Nice.
And what should you do with all that? Come to book club.
You can come to book club.
We're talking
to
about
talk about
identity.
identity?
Today. Yeah, today, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not today. Crap. Next
Yeah,
week.
it's yesterday, so if you could go back. No, it's
Next
not
week.
yesterday. It's actually, today's Monday if you're listening to this. So if you can jump in your time machine, jump back 2 days, boom, you're there.
Look at this. Identity shift. Upgrade how you operate to elevate your life.
Real quick story. We went to an event in California, and we had the opportunity to meet Anthony Trucks, and we interviewed him in our hotel room, and then we went to In-N-Out Burger. Okay, I drove. Alan was in the passenger seat. Anthony Trucks was in the back seat of our rental, and we're in the drive-thru, and Anthony Trucks gets a Flying Dutchman which I think is just a breadless, just patties with onions or something. You do you, Anthony. And he
And
says,
he got a large shake too.
yeah, you got to get carved up for the speech. He was speaking the next day in front of 3,000 people, crushed it. And he said, "Whose drawers are these?" And he holds up a pair of Alan's underwear in the back seat of our rental car. Those are Alan's drawers. I don't know why they're there, but don't judge us. We're on the road.
We're on the road again.
We're on the road. All right. Book club every Saturday, 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time p.m. 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Totally free, always free. You don't have to read the book. You can have your camera on. You don't have to. Whatever. Doesn't matter. If you want a good opportunity to get around next level books with next level people, book club is it. Group coaching starts on October 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Discount code NLU listener when you check out. You'll get 30% off. It'll end up being $96.60 per month, and you get 4 calls per month. So it's like $24 per call. Very, 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 very affordable because we want to make sure we can add as much value as possible, and we would love to have you in there. As always, we love you. We appreciate you, grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans, we have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out.